Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's enjoying the NFL Wild Card Weekend, the Super Wild Card Weekend. Not so super for the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately. For me, I've been a lifelong Cowboys fan, and here we go again. And it's going to be a crazy offseason, I think, because this one's got to hit hard. This is one where the Cowboys had a tremendous regular season, but they were just not prepared. And I don't know what was going on with Prescott and CeeDee Lamb in the first half, but very interested to find out because it looked like they were not on the right page. And there's something about what's going on. They're a tremendous regular season team. When they have to step up in big spots, they don't always do so. Good win against the Eagles this year, but when it gets to that postseason, especially against the Packers, it is just there needs to be a culture change there, and I don't know if it starts at the top with McCarthy. McCarthy's had a tremendous record in the regular season. He's done well in the postseason when he was with Green Bay. Of course, he has a Super Bowl ring. Something about the culture there that just is not going to get them over the top. So we'll see what happens. I use this video as some sort of therapy. I got no hairspray, I got no gel. It's been a long day. Anyway, welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. We're the only show that analyzes early betting patterns by the public, and we've done that with 3 more college basketball plays for today, or for Monday rather, with each one of those going against the public. Thankfully, that went well yesterday. 2 winners in our last 3 games, so we profited from our free plays yesterday, so we're trying to hit that magic 3-0, but certainly we'll take 2-1 anytime that we can get it. Before we get to our plays, as mentioned, this is Wild Card Weekend. We have 2 more games on Monday locked in right now. You can buy them as individual plays, or you can get all 3 for one low price of $59.99. And of course, that comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. You can do it that way, or you can get involved with my All Access Pass. And guys, everybody that's done that this weekend, thank you so much for your trust. We certainly will put everything into those packages to make sure that you come out a winner. But you can get my 30-day pass for $13.13 a day. My 90-day pass is less than $10 a day, and my all-access pass is less than $100 a month. You can get every play in the NFL all the way through the Super Bowl, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, and if you get it long enough, we're going to go right into baseball season, which is that is my favorite time of year. So very excited about the future, and thank you again to everybody who's gotten involved. And speaking of the NFL playoffs, if you guys haven't noticed yet, I slashed that NFL playoff package one more time. It's up there now for $139.99, and of course we do that after the games are over, so you can get more bang for your buck. But thank you for everybody that's joined that as well. So we got you covered all the way through the Super Bowl for one low price of $139.99. And if you need some reminders, I know few of you probably are like, every day we hear about college football, but if you need some reminders, of course we did great in college football. The record's up there. We're doing fantastic in the NFL, and in some ways, what we did in college football overshadowed the NFL because this season, and not including today, 56% winners this season. Over the last 90 days, that's 55.1% winners, and over the last 30 days, 62% winners. And as I said yesterday, it completely makes sense because I had a lot of time freed up because college football was over. So put that into the NFL, 62% winners, 5-2 over the last 7 days. Again, not including today. So that's really all that needs to be said. Please join me for Monday. It's going to be a massive Monday. Feel very strong about this card, and thank you to everybody that has so far. Okay, let's get to our free picks. First game, 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 861, 862, Ohio State Buckeyes minus 1.5 and 147 versus the Michigan Wolverines. We've seen some early action pushing this number from -1 to 1.5 early on. And we know this has been an absolute, for as good as the football season has been, this has been an absolute disaster of a basketball season in Ann Arbor. But we know that game against Ohio State, that could erase some of that horror of the 6-10 season, including 5 straight losses. The Buckeyes really haven't been lighting it up either. They have a 12-4 record, but as far as we're concerned, for bettors, 7-9 against the spread. 3 straight failed covers for the Buckeyes. The Wolverines have won 3 out of the last 5 meetings at Chrysler Arena. We're going to get the best out of Michigan here, and if we don't, that might be a go-against team for the rest of the year. So we're going to take Michigan plus the 1.5. Game number 2 is it comes at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 8:77, 8:78. Columbia Lions versus the Yale Bulldogs. Bulldogs minus 12.5, 145.5. We know that Yale has covered 4 straight games, but this is a little bit bigger of a number than I expected, considering those 4 straight covers, or those 4 straight games only brought them to a 7-7 ATS record this season. I think Columbia played pretty well against Cornell the other night, but I think they need a big game from somebody to stay around in most games. They don't have a star. You listen to guys, you listen to people around the program, they'll say we have balanced scoring. Well, you have balanced scoring. I don't. Yeah, you have balanced scoring for a bunch of guys that barely hit double digits every night. But I guess that's balance. They are definitely going to rely on Avery Brown. If Avery has a game like he had the other night, they're going to be fine in this one. But we know the Lions win when they're kind of in the 80s, the 70s or 80s, and I think Brown is going to push them to that mark. He's going to go off again. I think 12.5 is way too much. Yale might win this game, but I think it's going to be a struggle. We'll take Columbia plus 12.5. And then game number 3, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 8:79, 8:80. Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the Boston College Eagles. Eagles 7.5, 136.5. And you know, I'm anybody who knows me knows that I'm fairly close to the Notre Dame program, and you could tell that the demise of Notre Dame basketball was coming probably back in 2020. Mike Brey was, I don't know, very un-Mike Bray-ish when he was in his press conferences talking about how, it was almost seemed like 2020 was kind of a throwaway year. So and it was for, don't get me wrong, it was a horrific year for a lot of people. But I think, to me, knowing Mike and knowing the way that he speaks, it really just told me not only is this going to be bad, it's going to be bad for a while. And so we've seen that happen. It seemed like he knew this was coming. Bray left at the end of the season last year. Brought in Micah Shrewsbury from Penn State, and it's been rough. Even at 7-10, there has been some glimpses though of Notre Dame moving forward. Some light at the end of the tunnel. There was that Citadel loss that certainly was not a light at the end of the tunnel, but they have covered 9 of 14 games. They got a quality win against Georgia Tech on the road. They stayed with Virginia, they stayed with Duke, and they stayed with NC State, all 3 games right in a row. And so that told me there was at least something there. It's not that they're not playing well. It's not that they're not playing hard. It's just back in Mike Bray's day, and believe me, I was very critical of Bray and his program for a very long time. But back in the day, it was drive and dish, and they would kill you from 3. They would live and die from 3. And even now, they just don't have those killers from beyond the arc. That's one of the reasons that they're having problems. Now, they have played well against the teams I just mentioned because they have started to hit their 3-pointers. I think they're starting to come together as a team. But this will be a program that's going to take a couple of years to get back to competing in the ACC. I do like where this program is going. I wish they could be a little bit more dangerous from the perimeter. But 7.5 points in this situation is way too much for me. I love the heart, at least. At least I can say, well, Notre Dame's got heart. They do. Boston College is not 7.5 points better than Notre Dame. So we're going to take the Irish plus the 7.5 for our 3rd game. So that does it for our 3 games for Monday. Please go to pickdawgz.com. I have my NFL 3-pack locked in right now for Monday. $59.99 gives you every single one of my plays for one low price. And of course, that comes with a Pick Dawgz win guarantee. My NFL playoff pack is up there. $139.99 gives you every play right through the Super Bowl for $139.99. And of course, my all access pass is always up there. Get the next 7 days, 30 days, or annual all access pass gives you every play for one low price. Either way, please make sure you get involved, and thank you to everybody that has so far. Let's get to our give you our free plays one more time. Michigan plus 1.5, Columbia plus 12.5, and Notre Dame plus 7.5. So that does it for today's show. I want to thank you to everybody who has continued to help this show grow. That does it for Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Monday.